The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Deontay Wilder's knockout percentage. Deontay Wilder has a 95% KO ratio of 42 fights, 40 knockouts. There's a meme going around. It highlights the fact that Vitaly Klitschko has an 87% knockout percentage. George Foreman has an 85% knockout percentage. Rocky Marciano has an 87% knockout percentage, and Mike Tyson has a 76% knockout percentage. So my question to my bros and the boxing cousin here, complex gentlemen, is: are you impressed with Deontay Wilder's 95% KO ratio? And I'm going to start this one off with G.
What's it?
Yo, listen, I'm gonna say this. I'll say yes, but
that's what's up.
But why is more of the fact of two things: Wilder's style and Wilder's size. Wilder, his style is he's really dependent upon his right hand. So knowing that if I was his opposition, like Fury, it's like, hey, just stay away from his right hand, and you should be able to win the fight, right?
Easier said than done.
Exactly. So the fact that he knocks everyone out with pretty much the same thing, is just the straight right hand, that's pretty impressive. Another thing to factor in is the weight differential in those fights. A guy that's coming in at like that ranges from like say like 210 to 220, going up against guys that are 240, 250, 260, and still taking them out like that. Respect. That's what, to me, that was why Mike Tyson was so special. You know, it was how a guy that small taking out guys that big. You know, and so I am impressed by the 95% knockout ratio. However, I have to be honest, it's not like he's knocking out the elites like that. You get what I'm saying? But when you factor in, you know, his style and his size, I can salute it.
Respected.
You know, I actually respect that argument, G.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to turn to
I
Trevor.
thought he was going to bring the smoke.
No. I totally agree with G. Listen, the only thing I could throw in there is like, I'm not gonna get on Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows it was a guy by the name of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. that is my favorite Mexican fighter to date. I mean, second is Canelo. You know what I'm saying? But my number one guy of all time is Cesar Chavez. And I hate when when I be sitting here going back and forth with Caden, he likes to mention the cab drivers and the taco customer service guys.
Taco customer service.
Taco stand fighters.
You know the guys.
Selling them Brutal tacos on the beach.
He was just saying like, promoter, you know what I'm saying, Bob Arum, Don King would pull up to Home Depot in the pickup truck. He was like, anybody need any work? Anybody to hop in, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that to Deontay because I feel like, hey, you still did what you were supposed to do with the people that was in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's impressive. It's impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do with the people there. I'm not going to hold that against you, Deontay Wilder. But we all know. We all know. It's kind of like the same way, like I didn't credit Rocky Marciano. Like people are gonna hate me for this in the comment section. I know. Ah man.
Say it with your chest.
Oh man. I know y'all good. I know you gonna like I usually leave Rocky Marciano out of certain things. Oh God.
That community's gonna come after you. That community's gonna be in there.
All the digital bullets pointing your way.
They all, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't find somebody, I mean, like that's worth.
Don't let them watch us in Little Italy, dog.
Listen, bro.
So many bodies in Little Italy.
in Brockton, Mass.
I might be in Brockton one day. They might pull up on me. Hey, listen.
Don't ever go to the North End.
Listen, all I'm just saying is, listen, I can't find just like when we say Rocky Marciano's the greatest, and I be saying like he was a bad man watching old Rocky Marciano highlights, but we can only give him an old Joe Louis. You know what I'm saying? So listen, but he did have.
He's 157 years old.
But hey, Rocky Marciano was knocking out a fighter every month, the Bum of the Month Club. So he, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they called it, the Bum of the Month Club. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he became, you know what I'm saying, an actual Hall of Famer and a legend that we consider.
I have no
him.
affiliation with him. Cannolis all day for your boy. Ned,
I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna get on Wilder either. I agree with all y'all. I think all of his knockouts are impressive. Like, to be real, like, it's not the competition. Like, I would like to see Wilder fight better competition, but his knockouts are clean. I respect his right hand. Brazil knockout.
I'm so proud.
Was amazing. I thought I didn't expect that, but it was expected.
On camera.
I'll give you that.
All right.
Everybody
I didn't expect that, but it was expected.
I expected that, but I didn't expect it.
I didn't want that to happen, but it happened. My mind told me it. My body told me my logic told me no. You know, you get me? I know. I wasn't
That
trying.
sounded so odd.
It's R. Kelly. I forget. Wait, no, don't me too me. I'm sorry.
He me too himself.
Ah, man.
Yo, y'all better be leading segment.
That 95% knockout record, it is impressive. But his fight record isn't respected, no. That's it.
Complex.
I mean, yes, obviously, it's impressive. And for any man to knock out 40 men with one hand, with one punch, and then the way he knocks them out, where they look like they're dead, that's impressive for anybody. I don't care what sport you're doing. From one man to knock out another man, especially in the heavyweight division, this is the ultimate division, this endless weight class. He's fighting guys 50, sometimes 60 pounds heavier than him, right?
I was making sure Phil's cool with that statement.
I was falling asleep.
Yo, I'll squash you, dog. For any man to do that, it's impressive. So
We catch him out in the back of the
building.
You get shelter out in the back, you got some problems.
He don't want no smoke in the back of the building.
This ain't Brazil, dog.
But look, it's impressive. There was a guy in I don't know if you guys remember, Edwin Valero. Valero, I think he was Colombian. This man, I think he was a lightweight fighter, but he had literally, I think, a 100% in the KO ratio. It was even
that or like 98.
It was very high. He had a tragic ending. He was actually literally crazy. But this man, he would drop them automatic. Like he
was a little guy.
He was a little guy,
Yeah.
but he could knock guys out of their senses, out of their shoes. Eventually, he was going to get you. Wilder has the same style. Now, we got to remember, Wilder started boxing at the age of 20. His style is not like as beautiful as, let's say, Floyd Mayweather, or the guys who are really scientists, not technically sound, but it works.
He don't have to do that no more. But Wilder against Staver was technically sound. He was perfect. He was Floyish in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But now, since he doesn't have to be, because he depends on this right. Yeah, I made it a word, Floyish. You know what I'm saying? So now that he just all he does is focus on this right hand, not even setting it up no more. He just goes to bomb this. Now is a different fighter.
Yeah,
but it still works.
Valero had 100%.
Well, Edwin Valero had 100%. So my thing is this: there's some guys who have special
Julius Jackson.
Power almost. Julius Jackson knocked guys dead. But even Julius Jackson ended up losing at some point. But Wilder. Yeah. That'll beat you. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. It'll beat you. But Wilder, whatever you want to say, because Wilder, all we can do is judge him against his current crop of heavyweights. He can't go back in time and fight Mike Tyson. He can't fight Muhammad Ali's every era of heavyweights. He's fighting right now. And what he's doing is he's knocking those guys dead. I have to give him respect for that. The only way his resume could be any better is if he fights the top 3 other guys right now, which is Joshua, Ruiz, and Tyson Fury. He fought Tyson Fury, almost killed him. He's gonna fight Ruiz. If Ruiz beats Joshua, they're gonna make that fight because that's gonna be a unification fight.
I wouldn't even mind if they put him in there with a Parker.
They would still pick him. I mean, Parker or whatever, he could fight Parker, but Parker's already taken a couple losses now, but fine. But the thing is this, Wilder's tried to fight a lot of guys, but a lot of guys duck Wilder. You have to admit this. Wilder, when he won the belt, He won the belt
I
against.
just want you to know this is where you're going into.
I'm going. What?
Yeah, but go
No,
ahead.
Wilder won the belt against Bermain Stavern, and he was 33-0. Right. This is almost more than like 7-8 fights ago. Wilder in that time has tried to fight Anthony Joshua. He's tried to fight Joseph Parker. He's tried to fight top guys who everybody else says are top, but they haven't gone to
How
top
do
to
we
fight
know
him.
that?
Well, we can debate that later. But anyways,
You know he tried to fight with
I know.
He tried to fight Povetkin.
I just have a question for you though. See, this is when. Now you see, I let you make your point
make your point,
uninterrupted when it's relevant to. Then you
You're
start
asking
going
me a
on your
question,
tangent.
right?
So I'm asking a question
Yeah,
based
go ahead.
on
Ask the
where
question.
you took the conversation somewhere
Ask the
else.
question. Ask the question.
Did Shelly Finkel not admit that he kept Deontay Wilder away from Vladimir Klitschko because he considered Deontay Wilder a baby champion and he wasn't ready for Vladimir
I agree
Klitschko?
with that.
And around that same time, did Anthony Joshua not beat Vladimir Klitschko?
No, that was much later. Yeah, I'll tell you, it is much later. When
I
Deontay
said
Wilder,
around that same time.
no,
That
this
wasn't
was later.
around that same
It wasn't
time.
the same time. I
Okay,
can tell you it
go
wasn't,
ahead. All right,
and I'll explain to you right now. Deontay Wilder beat Bermain Stavern. At that time, the other champion who had all the belts was Vladimir Klitschko, right? The one belt, because his brother had it. Vitaly Klitschko held the belt for many years. Then Vitaly retired. Bermain Stavern won it against Chris Arreola. Then Wilder beats Stavern. So now Wilder's a champion. Wilder, they were like, do you want to fight Klitschko and unify? Wilder ducked him. I'll admit that. At that time, Wilder ducked him. I'll give you that. But after that, Fury went on to fight. Klitschko went on to fight Fury and lost. That was supposed to have a rematch. They waited a year before Fury just finally dropped out because of drugs and weight gain and whatever. That's when Klitschko then fought Anthony Joshua. So Klitschko was out of the ring.
Okay,
at that time.
I just want to stop you, bro. I just want
But let me just finish my point. Klitschko was out of the ring for over a year, but I didn't finish my point.
Yo, bro, cause like, you'll see what I'm doing right now. You said he won the title from Bermain Stavern and he wasn't ready for Klitschko. You admit that.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2017.
Right.
When he beat Bermain Stavern.
Right.
Okay? And so I just want to clarify something. Okay? Anthony Joshua, he fought Vladimir Klitschko in 2017.
No, he won the belt in 2017 was the second time he knocked him out. He won the belt in 2015.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
He won the belt in
2015.
Right.
And Vladimir Klitschko lost to Anthony Joshua in 2017. So you're saying that's not around the same time. So you're saying
It's
2
years
years
later.
is not, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
2
around
years
the-
later,
But,
yeah.
but that was Anthony Joshua's 15th fight. Deontay Wilder would have been fighting Vladimir Klitschko in like his 35th fight. You do.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're saying that
That's
Deontay
fine.
Wilder wasn't ready in 35
I thought that
fights.
was a duck. Yeah, he ducked him.
But you're admitting that Deontay Wilder has
That's the one duck he's had in his career.
asking you a
I'd admit
question.
that, yeah.
So you just admitted
Yeah.
he's shown that he's ducked a fighter before. But you're confident he didn't duck anyone else.
No. In that time, since.
What was the original question?
back to your-
What was the original
So hold on, let me
question?
finish.
What was the original
Let's bring
question,
it back to
bro?
the-
Oh, let's bring it back to the original question because I
What
don't
was the
mind
original
giving
question?
that.
Do you remember?
The original question.
Do you remember the original question?
The KO percentage was it?
He already answered it.
Was it impressive? Yeah, I think it's impressive. And I think the only thing that would make it more impressive is if he fights Tyson Fury again and finishes him this time, fights Anthony Joshua, finishes him, which he will, and then fights Andy Ruiz. There's nobody else that he could beat that you would say, because tell me right now who you think would beat Wilder. Tell me Dillian White's going to beat Wilder.
I think he could.
Tell me Alexander Usyk's going to beat Wilder, and I'll laugh in your face. Because I don't
I'm
believe
gonna be
any of those
honest
guys.
with this person, the lower tier people that I think, other than I won't say Ruiz is a lower tier. Povetkin has a potential too because of his
Povetkin
style.
he tried to fight Povetkin.
I know, but
he was on the
drugs.
plane to
I know,
Russia,
but we all-
and the fight got blown up.
Why you really all Wilder's defense attorney. We all agree that
I'm just
fight
saying,
was
no,
going to
I'm just
happen.
saying,
That fight was gonna happen, so-
out of styles, I think Povetkin has a style that would be a
Potentially.
problem for Wilder. That's what I'm
Potentially,
saying.
but at the same time, he tried to fight him and he couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Wilder, you get on him about his record, but he's either tried to fight these guys, the fight's blown up. He was gonna fight Luis Ortiz instead of Bermain Stavern the second time, but Luis Ortiz got popped for drugs. So he's tried to fight these guys, and I think to me, Wilder, which is almost sometimes a disservice to him, he's so honest. Wilder will honestly say, "Look, I've been trying to fight these guys." He doesn't play the boxing politics.
That would be
as
a
much.
next segment.
No, I
Who
didn't even
Deontay
go,
Wilder?
bro.
Oh, you
I didn't even go, bro.
Shit, we've been here.
Now you see what I'm saying. Now you see what I'm saying.
But anyways,
Now you see what I'm saying.
the point is-
Let's say a minute of something.
The point is, Wilder is gonna end his career. with higher than 95% KO ratio. I guarantee you, Wilder finishes all his fights by KO, he's gonna go over 95%. I think he's gonna retire.
No, all right, yo. So I just want to use some of my time to do this, right?
Yeah.
This is my beef with Deontay Wilder fans. They're hypocrites, right? He's saying that Wilder can't get these fights because people are ducking Wilder. We don't know if people are ducking Wilder or not, but what we do know is Wilder fans are okay with the fact that he ducked Klitschko. You saw it right here. Yeah, he ducked him. Okay, he ducked him, and then move on to everyone else ducking Wilder. Why is it okay for Wilder to duck, but then you want to fight? You want to crucify other people if they duck, right? Well, maybe for the same reason that Wilder duck is the same reason that they're ducking.
So they're not ready for Wilder. You just made the point. They're not ready for Wilder because Wilder.
I never said they were ducking. I said you're something.
Hold on. You just
Did I not say that?
You're saying did
I not say that? Thank you. Rewind the tape, bro. I said your assumption.
All right.
Because I'm just going off of the Wildette perspective here.
bomb
Me
squad.
personally, I don't
Blessings.
think anybody ducks Deontay Wilder. I think he's flawed enough that people see a path to victory. Whether or not they can avoid the right hand for 12 rounds remains to be seen. But I do think he's so flawed that all the elite fighters believe they have a path to victory against him, and they would jump at the chance to fight him, which is why geriatric Luis Ortiz is looking shredded right now and is fighting him over fighting Anthony Joshua. He had a chance to fight Joshua. They acted like they didn't know about the money and whatnot.
No,
That's why Tyson Fury, coming fresh off the couch, chose Deontay Wilder instead of Anthony Joshua, because he could have picked who he wanted to fight. He picked Deontay Wilder. So the baddest man on the planet really ain't that bad when you look at the fact that Luis Ortiz to take the fight on 5 weeks' notice, hurt him in the 7th round. Tyson Fury came off the couch, lost 150 pounds, decided to stop doing coke for a few months, and then had a draw with him.
Almost got knocked out.
Anyways, like I was saying, Deontay Wilder fans are okay with him missing big fights to build his profile, but as soon as another fighter wants to do it, they want to call that person a coward, overlooking the fact that that person came to America, fought him in his country, outboxed him for 9 rounds. I had Wilder winning 3, 2 that he dropped him in the first round, which made it a 1-point victory for Tyson Fury on my scorecard. Okay, so they overlooked that. Now we have an admission. Wilder ducked Vladimir Klitschko, and they know this, but they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But now they want to come at everybody else like they're ducking Wilder, and then they want to hold their feet to the fire. Why didn't you hold Wilder's feet to the fire then? It's my point, and that's my beef with Deontay Wilder fans. They some big hypocrites. But answering the question directly, is Wilder's knockout percentage impressive? Yes and no is my answer. Okay, it's impressive for all the reasons that G stated. He's the smallest heavyweight. He goes into fights where he's outweighed by over 50 pounds at times, and he still finds a way to get the guys out of there. But I want to point something out to you. This is impressive to me. George Foreman had 81 fights. And in 81 fights, he has an 85% KO ratio. What would Wilder's KO ratio be if he had 81 fights? And George Foreman fought in his 40s. He's the oldest man to ever recapture the title. What would Wilder's KO ratio be if he fought in his 40s, in his mid 40s, right? And you have Deontay Wilder, who has 42 fights thus far. George Foreman has 69 KOs. He has more KOs than Wilder has fights, right? That's just to put it in some perspective. Now, Vitaly Klitschko has 41 KOs, just about as many KOs as Wilder has fights at this point. Marciano has 43 KOs, more KOs than Wilder has fights. Now, I'm not hating on Wilder. What I'm saying is these guys, their percentage may be lower, but they've had more fights. And I don't need to beat a dead horse, but they fought better competition. There are a number of Hall of
Marciano's
Famers.
debatable.
He got a Hall of Fame on his resume though. And
Wilder, 187-year-old. They're all Joe Louis in that ring. Poor Joe Louis. He was a paycheck. Man, Joe was broke, man. It wasn't fair. Joe was working at casinos. They were like, look, man, we got another fight for you, champ.
Yo, beat that.
It was a fair.
Listen, that's fair. And I will respect that argument. All that means is that Wilder got to dust off of Vladimir Klitschko, knock him out, and then they even. But nah, in all fairness to Deontay Wilder, I don't think he's technically sound. I don't automatically give him the nod over the top fighters in this division, but I don't overlook the fact that he's dropped every man who's ever been in the ring with him. I don't overlook the fact that he has a high KO percentage. I think what he does is impressive. Is it as impressive as the people they put on the meme? I'm just saying the meme's misleading. With Deontay Wilder, here's how I feel about him. The same way I felt about Carmelo Anthony. When Carmelo Anthony first came in the league, they were comparing him to LeBron James. They said he should have got the Rookie of the Year over LeBron James. They were saying he's this great scorer, and he was a great iso ball player. But as time went on, he never evolved into anything other than a scorer. He never learned how to run the point. He never was a defensive stopper. He lost athleticism. He lost a few miles per hour off his fastball, and then he was out of the league. But someone like LeBron James, who learned technique, who learned how to read defenses, who was in the film room, who was studying in year 17, took care of his body that way, is still playing at an elite level and still considered one of the best in the sport. My fear for Deontay Wilder is he is what Roy Jones used to be. Someone who's so athletic, superior in every way to his opponents that when he starts to lose something, people are going to catch up to him. And when they catch up to him, he's going to be a below average fighter. He's never learned to box. And I can't back someone like that because at some point, that athleticism will go. And Bernard Hopkins was able to last longer than Roy Jones because in his career, he developed technical skills. Until Deontay Wilder develops technical skills, there will come a point in a boxing match where his athleticism won't be enough.
Please
Can I make one point? What's the last thing to go? Power. For any man fighting, the last thing to go is power.
But speed goes.
Yeah.
And he's fast right now. A little bit slower, Ortiz might get him out of there. A little bit slower. I'm saying,
a little bit slow. Older Ortiz, yeah.
I'm about Ortiz.
Look, the last thing that goes power.
Ain't stopping nothing.
A lot of what you say is true.
You might be right. But someone else, like John.
Someone else, if he fights younger fighters as he gets older, he might have everything. Yeah, true. But at the same time, last thing that goes is power. Wilder has accuracy and power. When he gets guys on the chin, it's over. So I think he can carry that even into later years. But I personally don't want to see. Hold on.
He's elite level speed. Right
accuracy
now.
Trumps speed.
But bro, he's elite level speed. You can't take
and
that away.
Timing and accuracy trumps speed.
But that's a boxing skill that we're saying Wilder
He has timing. He times guys. And he catches them. It's not by mistake. You can't catch 42 men and knock them on their ass by mistake.
That's going to be the next segment when we talk about is he a dirty fighter. But please like and subscribe and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's the Boxing Bros. This is going to go on and on and on. We have
Wilder's attorney here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.